What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. As you see, we are driving. Today is May 11th. It is Mother's Day. And kind of a weird topic to want to talk about: family and forgiveness. I don't know about you guys, but the holidays for me, a lot of the times, it's like a roller coaster of emotions. Just like you guys, just like a lot of us. The family relationships over the years, I'm 29 now, so over the last 29 years, the family dynamic, the family relationships have been like a roller coaster, right? A lot of highs, a lot of lows. Primarily with both of my moms. And if you guys listen to either the podcast at the One Step Journey, or if you guys listen to the mental health check that I did with Alex when we were driving, I talked about some of the stuff from my childhood that I didn't necessarily realize had such an effect on me the way that it did, which is not only being adopted, but also my adopted mother leaving when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And I didn't really realize the weight that both of my moms leaving, abandoning me when I was a kid, I didn't realize the weight that had on me as I was growing up, how much it would affect me through my teenage years and early on into my 20s, and even still to this day at 29. It's still something that I definitely think about, and in the back of my mind I feel like is always going to be there. It's just like that feeling of abandonment. But going into a day like today, Mother's Day, I have nothing but gratitude for both my adopted mom and my biological mother. I only met my biological mom one time when I was 18 years old, and she lives in Texas now. She came up to the Chicago suburbs where I live, and I met her at a Starbucks in Donata Square when I was 18. And a lot of people ask me, how was that? How was that experience for you? What did you take away from it? And all that kind of stuff, because that is a big thing, meeting my real mother. And to be honest with you, I was way too young for that experience. I was 18 years old. I was sitting in a Starbucks. It was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was noon. I feel like I had gotten into a fight like with my brother or with my dad or something, and I didn't necessarily want to be there. And the whole time I was sitting there and I'm just wondering, like, why is this woman crying? Who is this? She's a complete stranger to me. I knew obviously that it was my biological mother, but I didn't necessarily understand the magnitude or the weight of what that was, what that situation was for her, right? Because as she went on to tell me, it was one of the hardest decisions that she's ever had to make in her entire life, and it was something that weighs on her every single day. But of course, me, a cocky, angry, selfish little 18-year-old sitting there across the table from her at a Starbucks, and I'm wondering, who the fuck is this? Why is she crying? I didn't necessarily, like I said, understand the severity of this meeting, especially for her. And part of me wishes that I never would have had that meeting when I was 18. I wish I would have waited until I was a little bit older. Back in 2019, I was presented with a business opportunity, and I flew out to Dallas to go to this, rah-rah summit and all that kind of stuff, to learn more about the business and learn more about the company and get motivated and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, she lives out in Texas, so I'm pretty sure she was in either San Antonio or Austin, one of those two at the time, and she was supposed to come up and meet me. She ended up bailing last minute, so I literally haven't seen her in the last 11 years. But like I said, part of me kind of wonders if maybe I didn't meet her when I was 18, if I would have had that experience when I was maybe even 22, 23, if it would have been different. Whatever, obviously all the experiences that I've had have shaped me into who I am today. But part of me wishes that I still would be able to meet her in my adult life, especially now with the mindset and the maturity that I have now at 29, and really understanding, like I said, the magnitude and the severity of getting together and what that's like for her, but then also, the effect that it's had on me in my 29 years of always kind of having that thought of abandonment, always kind of having that fear of abandonment, But like I said, going into a day like today, Mother's Day, I have nothing but sheer gratitude for both of my mothers, right? I'm going to see my adopted mom right now. I'm going to see my family. We're going to grill out. We're going to play a little pickleball and do all that kind of stuff. And I think I'm going to vlog that. It's going to be in a separate video. But I honestly held so much resentment and so much anger towards my adopted mom for the longest time. Like I said, she left when I was like 4, maybe 5 years old. And I think it took me about 15 years to truly forgive my mom. And I think that's one of the hardest things that we can do as people is forgive. And not just tell somebody I forgive you, not just text somebody, hey, don't worry about it, I forgive you, you messed up, whatever it is. But to like in every fiber and every bone of our body, truly forgive that person and not hold any resentment, not hold any anger or any of that kind of stuff towards that person. Because I mean, that's fucked up. Let's be honest, it's fucked up. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna go to the hospital and you're gonna build a relationship with my adopted mom as she's making one of the biggest decisions in her life, because she was 16 at the time, to give me up to two complete strangers, right? Of course, they built a relationship and they built some rapport and they did a background check and all that kind of stuff. As you guys know, like the adoption process is pretty extensive. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna build a relationship with my biological mother, and you're gonna tell her, me and Randy, me and my dad are the people that you need to trust with your son's life. The biggest decision probably that you're gonna make in your life, to give your son to us. A promise that we're making to love, to nurture, to care for him his entire life. And then you're gonna turn around, you're gonna be unfaithful to my dad, and you're gonna fucking leave 4 or 5 years later after that? Fuck you. Like, that's fucked up. And I held so much anger, and I honestly think that one fucked me up more than being adopted. And I'm not sitting here in a place of saying that like I'm angry. I'm not sitting here in a place saying that like I'm mad at women or I'm angry at women. But I'm not gonna lie, it did take me a long time to be able to kind of get over that fear of trusting women. Because it's like, if my own biological mother gave me up and my own mom gave me up, how is another woman gonna love me, or is another woman gonna be there for me and not walk away from me when times get tough or things of that nature? And I'm not sitting here, talking about this looking for pity. I'm not sitting here to just ramble and say, woe is me, my life is so hard. I'm coming on here just to talk and have a genuine conversation with you guys, and just tell you a little bit more about my childhood and my story and what's made me me. But like I said, I held so much anger towards her for a very, very, very long time. And I ended up going into an outpatient program when I was 18, and that's a whole nother story on why I was there. And I really learned a lot. And I feel like for the very first time when I was in that outpatient program, and in one of the therapy sessions, I had a one-on-one with my mom. And I feel like for the very first time in my life when I was 18 years old, and I saw my adopted mom sitting there crying and telling me how sorry she was and all this kind of stuff, I feel like that was the first time in my entire life that I actually heard her, if that makes sense. And I'm a big advocate for the saying of there's a difference between listening and hearing. I could listen to you and whatever it is, right? It could go in one ear and out the other, but it's a completely different thing to actually sit here and hear you and actually comprehend and digest what you're saying to me. I think for the very first time in that outpatient program, I sat there and I actually listened to my mom. And I actually listened to the pain in her voice. And I listened to the regret and the emotion in that conversation. And that really opened up my eyes to the magnitude of her, right? And I've done a lot of things in my life that I regret. I've done a lot of things that I wish I could go back in time and change. And I feel like obviously that was something that my mom wishes that she could change. But unfortunately, we can't turn back the clock and we can't go backwards and we can't change things. So we have to live with it. And I realized that holding on to that anger longer, right, for the rest of my life was going to do me a disservice, and it wasn't going to allow me the chance to move on. And so ultimately I had to come to a crossroads and realize, okay, I'm either going to continue to carry on this pain, which is going to do nothing but damage me as I get older, or I'm going to let go. And going into a day like today with Mother's Day, I love my mom. I love her to death. I do anything for her. I call her with good news. I call her with bad news. She's always there for me. siblings. And I understand for a lot of you guys out there too, who have it a lot worse than I do, the family dynamic might not even be there, right? You could have lost a parent, you could have lost both of your parents, maybe it just wasn't a healthy environment, maybe it just wasn't the best suitable circumstance for you, whatever the case may be. I'm also a big advocate for the saying that family isn't always necessarily the one that you're born into. It's not always necessarily the one tied to your last name. It could be very close friends, it could be very close teammates or coworkers or whatever it is that fruit or that grow into a family. So I'm not even necessarily just talking about like blood relatives, blood siblings, and blood parents. It could be a family that you create. Like I said, very close knit group of people around you could be your family. I consider my close friends my brothers, right? That is family. And I just encourage all of you guys who have made it this far into the video. Like I said, this isn't me standing on my soapbox talking about woe is me. I'm just trying to share a little bit of some insight into what I'm about to say. Going into the holidays, going into Mother's Day, going into a random Monday or Tuesday, if you have heavy burdens on your heart, if you have a lot of pain on your heart towards your close friends, towards your family, towards your siblings, towards your parents, whatever the case may be, first off, pray about it. But second off, find the courage in your body, find the courage in your heart to be able to forgive them. Because I promise you, the longer that you hold on to that anger, the longer that you hold on to that resentment, it's going to do nothing but hinder your growth as a person in the long run. So I just urge you guys, forgive. And like I said earlier, forgiveness is one of the hardest things as people that we can do. And just like I said before, I'm not just talking about texting somebody and saying I forgive you, or being like, yeah bro, don't worry, I know you fucked up, but like, I forgive you, don't trip, it ain't that big of a deal. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in every fiber and in every part of your heart and your mind, truly forgiving someone and letting that pain, letting that anger, letting that resentment go and moving on with your life. I encourage you, if you have any of that pain in your heart right now, if you have any of that resentment towards anybody in your family, your friends, or whatever it is, try to forgive them. Try to grow. I've been talking for like 13 or 14 minutes, guys. Hug your mom. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I don't know if this video is not going to be coming out on Mother's Day, but still, right? It doesn't matter if it's Mother's Day. It doesn't matter if it's a random Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it is. Hug your mom. Hug your dad. Hug your friends. Check in on your people. Make sure that your people are good. Because another thing that I've learned in this life is short. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what the next 5 minutes is going to bring with somebody in your life. You never know what is going to happen. So I promise you, it does nothing but hurt you carrying around that pain and carrying around that resentment. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys are struggling with. Seriously, I want to build a community with this channel. This channel is not about me. It's not just about me. I want to build a community where we can come together and we can talk about it in the comments. We can come together and we can connect in real life, and we can come together and just motivate and inspire and just be there for each other and create a safe space. It's tough out there for a lot of people, myself included. Life is hard. It's expensive. With social media, we're constantly comparing ourselves to everybody. We're not satisfied with where we are in life. We're unhappy with our circumstances. Or even if you've achieved success and you got the big house and you got the money and the cars, but you're looking around and maybe you're still feeling lonely and you're feeling empty, and you're questioning if the people who are around you are really around you because they like you and they love you, or if they're around you because there's some sort of personal gain for them. And just, there's financial struggles, there's job struggles, there's children, there's marriages, and all this kind of stuff, guys. I just want us to be there for each other. That's the biggest thing that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to start this channel, was to build a community. And I really appreciate all 340 of you guys that were subscribed this morning when I woke up. Like, if you actually sit in a room and you try to put 340 people inside of a room, you'll realize that's a lot of people. And part of the reason why I make some of these videos is not only to share and shine some sort of light on the darker parts of life, give you guys workout tips, give you a little bit of an insight into my life to realize I'm just a 29-year-old regular guy. If I can go out there and start chasing my dreams, if I can overcome certain things, if I can overcome drug addictions and relationships and childhood traumas and other stuff that we haven't even talked about or even reached the surface on this channel, so can you. And if I can forgive both of my mothers, so can you. Right? And if I can forgive some of the other people who have wronged me, so can you. And I also hope that the people that I have wronged and the people that I have hurt in my life, because trust me, I'm not perfect and I've done a lot of fucked up things too. And I just hope that they can forgive me. I hope my mom can forgive me for the way that I treated her when I was a kid, how angry I was toward her when I was a kid. And I hope that my dad can forgive me for how fucking sour I was and how angry and confused and lost I was, especially after I graduated high school and I went down that long slope and that dark, dark, dark hole of the pills and the weed and the drinking and selling marijuana and selling pills and all this. Oh my God. I just hope my dad can forgive me. And I know he does, right? Because me and my dad are like this. That's my guy now, right? But all I'm saying is, I hope that we can really build something real here and be vulnerable with each other, because at the end of the day, we all need a safe space. At the end of the day, we all need an outlet to be able to talk about things like this, to be able to talk about stuff that we're struggling with, to be there for each other. That's the biggest thing. I don't care if you're a guy, you're a girl, whatever it is, right? Lesbian, bi, trans, pan, I don't fucking care. Black, blue, shrimp, orange, purple, yellow, green, whatever. We all deserve happiness and we all deserve love, and we all deserve to be treated as a human being with respect and dignity. And like I said earlier, I hope that you guys can find it in your heart to forgive. Forgive somebody today. Forgive somebody today, or pray about it, or just let some of that pain off your heart today while you're watching this video, after you're watching this video. And if I can even get one or two of you guys who watch this video and who have made it this far into the video to do that, then this video is a dub. And that's one thing that I've realized with this whole YouTube thing, is I'm not necessarily even so focused about the views or the subscribers or all that kind of stuff. The biggest thing that I'm worried about is the message that I'm giving to you guys in these videos. And I hope you guys know, and I wholeheartedly mean this, I'm not coming on the camera right now while I'm driving in the car and like putting on a mask or putting on some sort of facade. This is truly who I am as a person, and this is truly who I want to grow into be. It's just that good, wholesome person. Just like I said earlier, I'm not perfect. I promise you guys. I'm the farthest thing from, right? But if I can turn my life around, so can you guys. But it's a lot to think about. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, join the community. As you guys know, new videos every Sunday and every Thursday. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.